Hello everybody, how are you? I hope you're fine. Today I'm gonna talk about the IELTS exam. IELTS is International English Language Testing. In the IELTS, you are not supposed to be a professional of English language. IELTS has to do with some techniques and strategies that you must know everything about before you go to the IELTS test. Okay, here in this series, I'm gonna talk about some secrets, okay, that you should follow before you go to the IELTS test. Number one, time. Time is your greatest enemy in the IELTS. To succeed on the IELTS, you should use your time wisely. Students run out of time and don't finish at least one module. To know the time challenge in this test, you should know the parts of the test well before you go to the exam. First, you have listening, then reading, then writing, then speaking. In the listening part, in the listening section, you have 3 minutes. Okay, 3 minutes, and you are supposed to answer 40 questions in these 30 minutes. Okay, here you should know that you have in each question you have less than a minute to answer each question at the end of the 30 minutes. Okay. Number two, in the reading section, in the reading, you have 60 minutes and 40 questions, okay? But in the reading, you have 3 passages. You have to read them and answer the 40 questions in 60 minutes, okay? And after reading, you have writing. In the writing, you have task 1 and task 2, okay? We are going to talk about them later on, okay? You have 60 minutes, okay, to finish the 2 tasks. At the end of the test, you have the speaking section. In the speaking section, you have from 11 to 14 or sometimes 15 minutes, okay, to talk about different subjects. To succeed in this test, you must ration your time properly. Okay, the reason that time is so critical is that every question counts the same toward your final score. If you run out of time on any passage, the questions that you don't answer will hurt your score for more than earlier questions that you spent extra time on and feel certain are correct. On the reading module, the test is separated into passages. Time is critical here in the reading module because the passages are not in order of difficulty. If you have to rush during the last passage, then you will miss out on answering easier questions correctly. Okay, something very important, you have to wear a watch, okay, to the IELTS test. Okay, at the beginning of the test, check the time, okay, on your watch to count the minutes and check the time after each passage or every few questions to make sure that you are on schedule. Remember that on the listening and reading modules, you have a little over half a minute for each question. If you can work it quickly, you can pace yourself at half a minute per question, which makes it easy to keep track of your time. If you find that you are falling behind time during the test, you must speed up. Even though a rushed answer is more likely to be incorrect, it's better to miss a couple of questions by being rushed than to completely miss later questions by not having enough time. It's better to end with more time than you need than to run out of time. Okay? If you are forced to speed up, do it efficiently. Usually one or more answer choices can be eliminated without too much difficulty. Above all, don't panic. Don't panic. Don't speed up and just begin guessing at random choices. Okay? By pacing yourself and continually monitoring your progress against the clock or your watch, you'll always know exactly how far ahead or behind you are with your available time. If you find that you are a few minutes behind on a module, don't skip the questions without spending any time on it. Just to catch back up, spend perhaps a little less than half a minute per question, and after a few questions, you will have caught back up more gradually. Once you catch back up, you can continue working each problem at your normal pace. If you have time at the end, go back then and finish the questions that you left behind. Okay? Furthermore, don't dwell on the problems that you were rushed on. If a problem was taking up too much time and you made a hard guess, it must have been difficult. Yes, the difficult questions are the ones you are most likely to miss anyway, so it isn't a big loss. If you have time left over as you review the skipped questions, start at the earliest skipped question. Spend at most another half a minute and then move on to the next skipped question. All right? Lastly, sometimes it's beneficial to slow down if you are constantly getting ahead of time. You are always more likely to catch a careless mistake by working more slowly than quickly. And among very high scoring test takers, those who are likely to have lots of time left over, careless errors affect the score more than mastery of material. Yeah. Okay. At the end, I want to tell you something. For reading passages in the reading module, don't waste time reading. Okay, enjoying and completely understanding the passage. You don't have time to read all the passage. Simply scan the passage to get a rough idea of what it's about. You will return to the passage for each question. So there is no need to memorize it. Only spend as much time scanning as is necessary to get a vague impression of its overall subject content. Okay, this is what I wanted to talk about here in this introduction about the IELTS. Okay, time is very important. I will repeat it again. Time is your greatest enemy in the IELTS exam. Okay? Thank you for now. I will continue later on. Okay? God willing. Thank you.